Hello, I'm Linda Bennett, your spiritual counselor and psychic host for Metaphysically Speaking. Tonight we're going to talk about maintaining your sanity in an explosive world. 546-7379. Personal questions, though, right now. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. We're going to have quite an interesting program tonight. This is when we're going to be talking about some of your fears, some of your angers, some of the things you don't say in front of your friends because you don't know how they feel about it. And that is what's happening to this country. This is the first Monday after the explosion in Oklahoma. We just heard on the radio on the way in that somebody blew up a forestry office in Sacramento. Obviously, the lumberjacks who don't like the fact that we're not strip mining or strip mining and stripping every tree off the surface of the earth. So we're going to be talking about this tonight. If you have an opinion about what's happening, if you'd like to talk about the New World Order, if you'd like to talk about these extremist groups that think they have the right to blow things up for imagined or real problems in this federal government, I want to talk to you about it. And I'm going to give you some basics because there are things behind the scenes that most of you are not aware of. So if you want to talk about this evening, that's the lesson segment in the call-in segment. But right now is when we do personal questions. 546-7379. Caller, first name and comment or question.
Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Hi, this is Jeannie. I've been trying to get hold of you for about
I know who you are.
Yeah, you know who I am.
Okay.
With the listen, I went in one place to apply for a job and got completely turned around by the particular place and sent in another direction. Okay? It's in the field of health. They offered free training, free schooling, the whole 9 yards. I am doing it because it's better than doing nothing.
Right.
And I do like doing it, but I really still don't feel that it's the direction I should be going in.
Yeah, me either. I would keep on looking.
Okay.
What direction do you want to go in, Jean?
Writing.
Hard.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's very hard. You can do that anyway and still have a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah, that I realize. But
Have you taken a journalism and creative writing course?
many
Okay.
moons ago.
I always suggest that people who take creative writing take journalism and vice versa because it makes you a tighter, more effective, more interesting writer, the two of them working together.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a couple of local magazines will publish you soon, but I keep hearing get tighter in your writing.
Yeah, I tend to get crazy because
Right.
of the health aspect of it and the
Right.
elderly people, you
Yeah.
know.
Remember who, what, when, where, why, and how is the reporting. And every good story has that. And it's not just a news story. I'm talking about James Michener was a fabulous writer. When you got finished with the first paragraph, the whole mood for the entire book was set.
Yeah.
And that's really what you have to create in your writing. And I'm feeling you can do that, but you have to focus in. You're going in too many different directions.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Well, fix it.
It's not
You know,
easy.
say to yourself, if I have 50 words to make the point, what are these 50 words going to be?
Yeah.
And that gives you cohesiveness of thought. All right? Say there are
Okay.
50 words left on the planet. Okay, which ones am I going to use? All right?
Yeah.
But I'm feeling a little tentative about this job situation you have. I keep on looking if this doesn't work out in the next 30 days because I don't know, something about it I don't like.
Well, it's very rough work that,
Okay.
you know.
Let's keep
Physical.
looking, Jane.
Yeah, I will. Thanks, Linda.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. Caller, first name and comment or question. Caller. Okay, guys, you have to turn your set off when you're calling in, because otherwise we get feedback and we could lose you. So tonight, again, we're going to be talking about the events in Oklahoma, what you think of these paramilitary groups, what you think of supremacist of any kind of groups. We tend to think of only white supremacist groups. There are black supremacist groups too. Religious supremacist groups. So I want to hear what you have to say about that. Start thinking about this in terms of who you are and what you think about other people. The types of people that perhaps you work with or perhaps you've gone to school with. think about these things and select yourself out. And think to yourself, do I say me and them, or do I say we? If you want to talk about this when you're calling with your personal questions right now, which are, shall I sell my house and move back up north, that's fine. Because I want to get as much in as possible on this. I want to get as many of you to call in about your opinions. And remember that even if you want to use a different name, your voice is altered, so not everyone will recognize you. Okay? Call a first name and comment or question.
My name is Sue.
Okay, Sue.
Mine's a more personal. I was in a car accident about a year and a half ago, and I've sustained some personal injury to myself, and I've also got a lawsuit pending, and I was wondering what you saw in both areas, both for myself and the lawsuit.
I'm feeling the personal stuff, and I'm not supposed to answer health questions, but I'm feeling a lot of that clearing out over time. I hope your therapy is good. I have a wonderful Rolfer who completely rebuilt my body. Her name is Candace Kresser. If you'd like her number, I'll be happy to give it to you.
Okay.
And 251-1367.
1367?
Yeah, I'm punching it out, you do on the phone. 251-1367. Her name is Candace Kresser. She's over in Tampa.
Okay.
And, to let somebody work on me, they have to be amazing. And she's completely rebuilt my body. It's a different concept than what you get for normal physical therapy, or what we think of as normal physical therapy. The other thing, I'm feeling a bit of a drag here. You're going to need to ride your attorney a little bit. It's always wise not to settle a case probably before the first year of the event, because we're still dealing with things that continue to manifest.
Right.
But I'm feeling just about everything is manifested. Okay?
Okay.
So you're going to have to start pushing your attorney a bit.
Okay.
Good luck on it.
Bye.
Caller, first name and comment or question, then we'll go to classes. Caller.
Hello.
Go ahead, caller.
Hi, Linda. My name is Trish, and I wanted to let you know I've been in to see you last year, and
Okay.
I just want to let you know it was very helpful. Probably don't remember who I am, but I've run into
Good, thank you. I like to hear when people find that the counseling has been helpful to them.
It was very helpful.
Okay.
But since then, I've run into some other problems, and
Time for another appointment.
It's my relationship. I've come across a new one, and it's a little different because I was friends with this person for quite a while, and it became
Romantic.
right. So it's kind of a rocky road. It's been different than any other relationship I've ever had, and I'm just kind of unclear as to what.
If it's so wonderful, why is it rocky?
I don't know. It's harder because we were friends before. We know a lot more about each other than.
Which is good.
It is, but then again, it's not.
Well, if it's right, it's good. If it's not, then what you're doing is you're holding grudges against each other for things that you've known about each other prior to the emotional relationship. And I'm feeling that the two of you actually make better friends than you do lovers. So think about that. Okay?
Okay.
There's not as much at stake there when you're just friends. There's a whole different atmosphere and ball game, even atmosphere to how you deal with each other on an everyday basis when there is a love relationship. And really, you should be friends with the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. You should be friends with the person you're going to bed with. Okay? So if I were you, I would step back a little bit and examine this. If somebody who has been a friend of yours doesn't translate that friendship well when you're sleeping together, you better run. Okay?
Okay. All right, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we'll take this and then we'll go to classes. Caller, first name and comment or question. Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Debbie.
Okay, Debbie.
How are you, Linda?
Fine, and you?
I was just wondering, my son has recently come back home after being up north with his father for about 3 years. And,
How old is he and what's his first name?
18 and Joe.
Okay.
And he's having a little bit hard time settling in, and I wondered if you saw anything changing for him.
Well, I actually wouldn't have had him come back to Florida. Where was he? Where was he living?
In Connecticut.
Okay. Oh, where?
Well, he was in South Windsor area.
Okay. Okay. I'm from Bridgewater, which is just north of Brookfield. I'm feeling that the South is not a place for him.
No.
He needs to go to school or join the service. Get out of the South.
Okay.
Okay. It's nothing to do with you. Pardon me. It has absolutely nothing to do. He's not rejecting you. Although I feel there are some dynamics there that need to be dealt with, but he doesn't fit here.
No.
How are you going to take people from one of the most educated and cultural states in the nation and bring them to Florida?
Yeah.
And I past the Mason-Dixon line. What can I tell you?
True.
It's not encouraging. And I would have him go to school, He can get his residency back in, in Connecticut and go to WestCon or something. And that's what I suggest he do.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm also not opposed to him joining the service for a couple of years to get a little more emotionally mature.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, caller, first name and comment or question.
Jean.
Okay, can we make this a little louder, guys? I can hardly hear it in here. Okay, your name again?
Jean.
Okay, Jean.
Hi. I've recently come through a bitter divorce, and I just put my condo up for sale, and I'm thinking of moving to Georgia.
Where?
Well, south of Atlanta. And
Valdosta? Are they just rounded up the guy tonight?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Anyways, I was just wondering.
I would like you to go visit there first, spend some time there.
I have.
Okay.
I visited there twice.
For how long?
A week at one time.
Okay.
And I like the area, but I'm just wondering, do you see this as a good move for me financially and romantically?
No.
No? Should stay in Florida, huh?
No, I didn't say that.
I'm not happy with Florida.
No. I'm feeling closer to the Atlanta. I'm feeling actually in the Atlanta suburbs. I feel that's where you will have a better work environment, a better social life, and you can go visit your friends. I'm feeling the Atlanta area is much better.
Yeah, because Florida, I've been very burned by Florida.
Yeah, me too.
Literally and physically.
Yeah. It's some people thrive here like cockroaches, and they should stay. But for the rest of us, it just does not seem to work. So I would suggest the Atlanta area. If not Atlanta, I'm feeling something about Virginia for you as well. So whatever that means, it might be the person you wind up meeting is from Virginia.
I hope I meet someone. Do you see my condo selling soon?
No condo sell soon. What town is it in?
It's in Largo.
That's rough. I do see it selling, but I'm feeling that it's going to be, how long has it been on the market? It feels like a bit of a delay.
About 6 months.
Okay. It's a delay.
Yeah. Those are the holidays and that too.
I keep hearing re-energize it, so go around and look at it as if you were just walking in the door and see what seems to be annoying you or cluttering. Okay? And I'm feeling with a little reorganization, it'll look a little more spacious and a little more appealing. You may have to sell some of the furniture with it to make a better deal.
That's okay. My son is moving out in a month, so that might help.
Bye. Don't let him move back in. That gets awful tricky. Don't give me your address in Georgia. Not for 6 months. Get a breathing space. Yeah, I'm feeling it's going to sell, but I want you to get a better grasp on where you're going to be in Georgia. Okay?
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Caller, first name and comment or question. How much time do we have, guys? Time cue? First name and comment or question. Caller.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, yes.
Oh, my name is Adrian. I was wondering if you could tell me if the field of employment that I'm in now is
what
still...
Is it?
I'm in the medical field.
Is what now?
I'm in the health
no, I
field.
got that. Do you want to stay there?
I'm not having very much luck right now, and I was wondering if you could,
I'm feeling a slightly different direction, but stay in the medical field. I'm feeling it works for you and it'll pay your bills, but I'm feeling some kind of a missed energy here instead of going perfectly like this. I'm feeling like either missed opportunities or you need to expand a little bit in what you do. But I do like the medical field for you.
Okay, thank you.
Just stick with it, but fine-tune it a little bit more. And you may want to go to another type of agency or another type of thing that you're doing. Okay, we're out of time. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Hello, I'm Linda Bennett. Do you have questions about your personal life? What about your relationships? Where's your life going? How about a career? Do you need to go back to school? What about those spiritual questions you always had in your back of your mind, but you just didn't know to ask about them? Or how about finding out why you're here on the planet to begin with? Call me at 736-4567 and we'll arrange an appointment. Now, if you have a product or a service you'd like to advertise with us, call 736-4567 today. And our meta moment tonight, what do you despise? By this you are truly known. And that is out of the Dune series. What do you despise? By this you are truly known. Where do you want me to look? How fascinating. Now this is what we're talking about tonight. People who think they're better than other people. People who think that they have the right to declare war and blow up buildings. People who think they have the right to cut the lives of others short because they think that only they have the answers. Now, am I talking about Islamic fundamentalists? Am I talking about Christian fundamentalists? Am I talking about Jewish fundamentalists? Well, the shoe fits for all of them. Maintaining your sanity. I don't know if you've been watching, this is what I want you to call about tonight, the Oklahoma situation, the New World Order, what you think about this. I'm going to have somebody on from a Patriot group next week. Chris, I got your call today, and I will be having you on. I've been watching these people over the weekend, and I saw the Diane Sawyer interview, and she was begging for some kind of rationale from these people. They all sound like robotic parrots. Chris, if you're going to bring a guest on with you, make sure this person has an IQ above 60, because what I have been watching with these Patriot groups, these people don't have a brain in their heads, and they're fighting a war that they're creating that they know nothing about, and they're siding with the wrong people. Anyone who thinks that it's only the United States government as a whole ball of wax, it's crazy. The Patriot groups are people, if you've been watching them, who are white Christians. 99.5% of them who are running around in little games are men. These are people who are looking for power because they feel powerless. Many of them do not have educations. I don't think any of them has ever been to a ballet or to a museum. These are people who feel disenfranchised because they have removed themselves from the opportunity to move forward in life. And so they're falling backwards together in a clump. They are arch conservatives and Republicans, and they don't understand that the real danger in the United States government are the people who put Ronald Reagan and George Bush and Bob Dole and Newt Gingrich in power. That's who is really behind the New World Order. The Democrats have traditionally been the power of the people. The power of the people is not what the problem is in this country. It's the power of big money. It's the power of companies that think they have the right to pollute our water, to tear down our forests, to run nuclear facilities when everyone knows every nuclear facility on the planet leaks and has problems. End of story. That's the truth. When they think they have the right to control the food, when they think they have the right to control the seeds that the food is grown from, when they think they have the right to pollute our food with pesticides, and on and on and on. And these Christian conservatives are too stupid to figure out that the people they put in office are the people who are behind the diabolical side of the New World Order. I mean, the New World Order is one world government, sort of like Star Trek. And we're a long way off from having the benevolence, the goodness of a Star Trek concept of a one world government, because we still have big business. And who's behind big business? Well, not Bill Clinton. It's big business in Arkansas, you know, with the guys who run the local feed store. But the big business people put people like Gingrich and Dole and Bush and Reagan in the White House. And yet these Patriot groups are so stupid they can't figure that out. All they have to do is look at the history of our government and what's happened to this country in the last 12 years, 15 years since the Republicans were in power. And the Democrats in Congress weren't paying attention. We have the government of the most money. We have a disaster of a trial out in Los Angeles with a man who's got more attorneys on staff than the White House. We don't have justice in this country. We have people who can buy and sell what they want. And the Patriot groups can't figure that out. All they talk about is we want to keep our guns. What's wrong with these people? Caller, first name and comment or question. Caller.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Hello?
You're on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Linda. I think you're asking a very important question. My name is Bernard.
Okay.
And what I feel from what you're saying is the fact that when we give too much power to these people that want to be recognized, I think as individual groups, it doesn't matter if they're white groups, supremacy, or black groups,
right,
or from foreign nations or whatnot, when we isolate them as such a group, then we tend to give them the power because our speech is directed towards that. They're now become individuals, and you can pretty much isolate them in that category.
They become a power source unto their own, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, and that's what feeds them, and then that attracts people who feel they don't belong to anything, so they go to that group.
Exactly. And you talked about an educational level. I think when you've exhausted all your resources in America, the free country as we have it and as we know it today, the only thing that you have left is to resort to some sort of a higher source that you cannot control your life. You become part of these groups, and that group will then begin to control your life. I think these are just wasteless people for humanity.
What do you suggest we do? What are some of the solutions that you can think of? What would you change? How would you do that?
Well, the government definitely needs to get involved with this whole situation. I don't feel that our government is doing enough empowerment as far as carrying out their wishes like we think. I sit at home and I see people being murdered and mayhemed just in your own neighborhood. I've got to pay for these people for the next year. I can imagine what people out in California are going through when you revert it to the trial that's going out there with someone else that has money. Yeah. When you have money, you're absolutely right, beyond a shadow of a doubt. You have the power. You don't necessarily have the knowledge, but people like to spend money. And it could be for murder, it could be for bombs, whatever it is that's spending, money is power.
What do you think one of the basic problems in our society is today?
I think one of the basic problems is definitely communication in the home. That's where it begins. With the children that we're bringing up in this world, and we bring them up in such a way that I get the impression that a lot of parents don't care. When I was a child growing up, you had parental guidance. You know, it's fortunate for me that I did not come from one of those divorce-style families or a welfare recipient type family or a type of family that just didn't give a darn whether you got A's or B's or passed or not, or what kind of friends you have. Parents are just not seeking out the friendships that their kids have. They can have friendships. I had friendships with the school that I went with. I didn't have friendships across town, across state, like some of these kids are allowed to do. I see kids on spring break that travel down from New York, from this, from that, from that, from this. I don't know if they shave their heads like that at home, but they sure do here in Florida. You see it.
So in other words, you're saying lack of parental control. Where do you feel that the lack of parental control stems from?
I think it stems from having a child in a situation where both parents are not participating.
I also feel it stems from the fact that both parents tend to either be drunk or stoned. And I also feel that it's, so we lost the caller, hung up?
No, I'm here.
Okay. I also feel that the parents are drunk or stoned, or that they themselves never had a proper education and they don't see the reason for it. See, when the immigrants came to this country in the 1800s and the early 1900s, they knew that they wanted their kids educated.
Exactly.
Not today, okay? They grew up copping out on school. They grew up with bad educations. Instead of saying, you know, I missed the boat in opportunities. I want my kid to have a really good education. Or parents who are absentee parents because they're busy traveling or because they're busy in the junior league or whatever associations. That doesn't mean the junior league is bad, but I'm saying, you know, there are a lot of women out there who just want their names everywhere and want to be in every association except the association of their own house. And the same thing with the fathers. They're busy running around in activities and playing golf every weekend, but they're not home with their own kids, or they're on the computer when they get home. And so we have people with children who don't treat them as well as they do their dogs.
Exactly. And you're absolutely right. That's where it all starts. You got to take care of the kids.
You have to take care of your children, and you have to be responsible for them, and you have to understand it's a long-term commitment.
Exactly.
And you have to be educated yourself as a parent.
Exactly.
And it doesn't mean you need a college education. My father quit school at the end of 6th grade so he could help out on the farm, and so he could go caddy at the Southampton Country Club and earn a living. But this was the most educated man that I ever met. In fact, his friends thought he had his master's in something. Spoke 5 languages, knew every opera, was literate in Shakespeare and poetry and politics, and you can self-educate.
You know, Linda, I really enjoy your program, and I'm really glad that I got the call and I finally got in.
I'm glad.
You know, you do a marvelous, marvelous job.
Thank you so much.
And what I want to do is I don't want to take up all the time. I have a lot of thoughts, and I'll talk your ears off, but I want to hear what the rest of America, the rest of Pinellas County or Hillsborough County, people out there that are watching the program right now, call. Give an opinionated point of view of how you see the situation. I don't think we should just close our eyes to this. I mean, this thing could come right home. We just had a bomb scare right here in Tampa.
Oh, we did?
Even though it was a bomb scare, it's a scare.
Right. Well, I'm glad you called, and I want the rest of the viewers to call in as well.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And our next meta moment. No planet, no land or sea, no part of any land or sea is here forever. Wherever we stand, we are only stewards. And that's also out of Dune. And this is talking about protecting what we have, protecting the land, respecting who we are, respecting the responsibilities we have here on the planet. And I keep using the word respect. And that's something that we're missing in this society. I work with a lot of European people who come over They're visiting the area. Friends, family, they see me on TV. They call for an emergency appointment because they're only going to be in town for a week or 3 days. And they are desperate. They simply don't understand Americans. They don't understand how we're so ignorant of what's really going on. They don't understand how we elect the wrong people, how we nominate the wrong people to run for government, how we take the path of least resistance in everything, how we let organized religion run this country. They're desperate to understand Americans. And many of them are saying to me, we're selling our condos. We're not coming back here anymore. America is not a place we respect anymore. It was 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago. Americans have lost their education. Americans have lost their purpose. Americans have lost their common sense. And we're going to be talking about some of these things, but I want to read something real quick that was in the paper over the weekend. A Republican Representative Henry Aldridge, a Republican from North Carolina, made the following statement on abortion and women who get pregnant when they're impregnated, because, of course, this is, don't forget, the Christian fundamentalists hate women. The three major religions, Judaism, Islam, Christianity, all hate women. That's the end of that story. They don't incorporate the female energy of God. They despise women. Women are supposed to be barefoot and pregnant. How do you control a woman? You control her uterus. Figure it out. And so what he is saying, so that he can eliminate abortion funding for incest or rape, he's saying, the facts show, I'm not making this up, the facts show that people who are raped, who are truly raped, the juices don't flow, the body functions don't work, and they don't get pregnant. Medical authorities agree that it's a rarity, if ever. Now this man is frightening. He's been elected. He's been put into office. How is it possible, A, that someone has gotten to be 71 years old, which he is, and so ignorant, and two, that people put him in office? What does that say about the people who vote garbage like this? What does that say? Frightening. Only in America. Caller, first name and comment or question. Caller.
Hello?
Go ahead, caller.
Okay, I'm listening to you talk about the topic you're talking about. Mm-hmm. And I really believe that there's not much difference between either one of the two political parties. I think both parties are manipulated by powers that be that are beyond the control. So I think they kind of just go back and forth and play one against the other, but basically they're using the whole political system for control.
Yes, however, the system that's more easily manipulated are the Republicans, because that's where the big money is.
Well, I see the Democrats as creating this welfare state where it's parasitic, where they just are encouraging people.
I agree. It has gone overboard.
And Clinton is, bringing the cocaine into the Mena airfields in Arkansas. And
Clinton isn't bringing any cocaine in. I've heard that crap on the Patriot programs. Clinton isn't bringing cocaine into the country.
You don't know whether he is or isn't.
Trust me, Clinton doesn't need to bring cocaine into this country. And if that were true,
well, the CIA is, you know that.
Of course, that's back from the Vietnam War, where they were running the money through and funding the Golden Triangle out there,
right,
and running it up through South America. But that's not Clinton. They were financing the war in Nicaragua.
Right.
And who was president at that time now? Who was that?
Well, they've been doing it since World War II.
Yeah. So therefore, the Republicans are the ones that have the big money operations behind them. The Republicans are the ones who are pulling the purse strings in big government. Caller, first name and comment or question. Clinton. Okay, running cocaine from Arkansas. Watch on the cable access these Patriot programs. Some of the stuff is very frightening, what these people believe. Why is that? Let's talk about the fact that they lack education, or let's talk about the fact, if one more person who is a Christian fundamentalist says, well, I got an education, I say, well, where did you go, public schools? Well, no, I went to a Christian school. Well, there you have it. If someone has got an agenda, they're only teaching you what they want you to know. It is oxymoronic to graduate from a Christian school or a Muslim, or an Islamic school, or a Orthodox Jewish school, and claim that you have an education, because you only have been taught what they want you to know. When someone's got an agenda, I don't care who it is. The same thing with these black schools that Louis Farrakhan, who's a black supremacist, have started. Those kids aren't learning reality. The world did not start in Africa. Africa doesn't have a grand culture. This is a myth. that people who feel disenfranchised or haven't striven in certain ways are trying to create. Not all societies are created equal. We need to get rid of the following things in this country to make it a better place. We need to get rid of drugs. We need to get rid of alcohol. We need to get rid of violent organized sports. I am so tired of this county spending money on Thunderdomes when the kids can't read and don't have enough books in school. We have a screwed up sense of priorities, people here in this country. We need to get rid of organized religion, sorry, but God is not Catholic, Jewish, or Muslim. God is all purposeful and all light. We need to get rid of ethnic superiority. We need to get rid of color superiority. We need to get rid of class superiority. We need to stop thinking that one person in a certain neighborhood is better than another person in a certain neighborhood. We need to get to education. We need to get to culture. Less football, less wrestling, and more music and art and dance, and more reading. I use basic words in a lecture, and I have people sitting there looking at me, and these are college graduates. They don't know what I'm talking about because they don't have an education. We need to get to the idea that all souls are from the one source of light. Women are equal to men. Whites and blacks are equal. Yellows and browns and reds are equal to blacks and whites. We are all souls. We are all sparks of God. What these patriot groups are doing is giving the government a grand carte blanche to tighten up the ability to invade your space. I'm going to take an extra 2 minutes. To invade your space. Blowing up a building widens the door that was slightly open and invites the federal government into your home. So they claim they don't want interference from the federal government, but they do something that's going to put the support of the American people behind the federal government becoming more invasive, more Big Brother. If you want to know about the real New World Order, people, there are 2 books you have to get. Holy Blood, Holy Grail is the first one you have to read, and Messianic Legacy is the second one you have to read. And you realize the organizations you have to fear were organizations sponsored by big business, like the Republican Party, and sadly enough, I don't want to hear any nonsense, the Catholic Church, because the Catholic Church is behind having a child from the legacy and genealogy of Jesus make its grand appearance one day, which is also why they stopped teaching reincarnation. If you understand that we're all sparks of God, regardless of what family you choose to be born in as life goes on and lifetimes go on, then you wouldn't be impressed because somebody's born of a certain blood lineage. So if you want to know what's really going on, read those 2 books. And do the cross-referencing, because they have extensive cross-referencing from books all around the world. And I would suggest that you go back to basics. Personal integrity, taking care of your body. No alcohol and drugs. No one's life was ever improved with a bottle of booze. Educate yourself. Read books. Take them out of the library. You don't even have to buy them. Make sure your children are getting education. Get them off the computers. You want to know how to depersonalize someone? Give them a computer. They don't relate to human beings. They relate to a computer. And that's part of the diabolical plan of the bad aspect of the New World Order. Depersonalize. Lose your relationships. Cut yourself off from other people. Cut yourself off from intuition by programming you with a computer and an organized religion and keeping you just a little bit stoned, a little bit drunk. If you want a free society, then educate yourself, learn about culture. Stop separating yourself out and join with other people of equal spiritual energy and equal intelligence. And encourage others who don't have quite so much intelligence to develop it. Caller, first name and comment or question.
Is it me?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Marla Linda. I love your show.
Thank you.
I have a problem when people talk about people on welfare or talk about welfare like it's a bad thing, because it can be a very positive thing.
It's a good thing that's been abused.
Yes, and it has been abused. But
yes.
For people like me, I have 2 small children. Mm-hmm. I'm pregnant. My husband is a total jerk.
And why are you pregnant again?
Well, that's another story.
You have to take the responsibility for that. You don't belong pregnant.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
If your husband's a jerk.
I'm taking responsibility for my actions, mm-hmm. I'm not abusing the system. I'm using the system to further and better myself. And once I get to the point where I don't need it anymore, I don't intend to stay on it like some women do.
Right.
But it can be a positive thing. I'm in a self-help group right now.
Right. But do you understand how some of us out there who have to work day and night. You know, people think I make a killing. I don't. This is only Pinellas County.
Right.
Why do I have to support you having another baby with a guy who's a jerk that you knew was a jerk?
Yeah, I can see your point there, too. But the point is I need to get out there and support myself. I haven't been supporting myself emotionally, and this is something I need to learn to do.
Good.
And once I get my self-esteem and myself back in order, then I will be a productive member of society, helping other women who are in the shoes that I'm in right now.
Good.
So, you know, it can be a positive thing.
Yes, it can be a positive thing, but it can't be abused, and it has been abused. And self-respect is what we're talking about. Self-respect, integrity, common sense. Look at what's behind the talk that you hear from the politicians. Look at what's behind the talk that you hear from the supremacist groups, the patriot groups, your local ministers, your rabbis, your imams. Look at what's behind it. What's their agenda? Self-perpetuation or your independence? Stay with us for Inner Journey. Questions about your personal life? What about your relationships? Where's your life going? How about a career? Do you need to go back to school? What about those spiritual questions you always had in your back of your mind, but you just didn't know who to ask about them? Or how about finding out why you're here on the planet to begin with? Call me at 736-4567 and we'll arrange an appointment. Now, if you have a product or a service you'd like to advertise with us, call 736-4567 today. And this is where we get a chance to relax and tune into God and the angels. So sit up nice and straight. And through the nose, you're going to be breathing in and out. And right above the nose, between the eyebrows, is where you're going to be focusing with your eyes closed. The third eye, the window to your soul. So close your eyes and through the nose, take a nice deep cleansing breath, sitting nice and straight. Filling yourself with God's brilliant white light of love, protection, peace and harmony. And feel yourself totally surrounded by the angels of wisdom, birth, and light. They accompany all souls who journey to a planet. They work with your guardian angel to help you adjust to the vibration of the planet and the reality of why you came here and what you need to accomplish. Allow them to take you on a journey tonight of wholeness, of completeness. Feel them taking you into the forest of wisdom and transformation. Gently climbing a path of soft, warm water flowing gently around your feet, cleansing you with each step as you climb higher and higher into the light, making your journey into light and wisdom and self-discovery. As you stand on the path of truth in front of the temple of awakening, all good souls struggling to make their lives worthwhile walk this path day after day and seek to improve themselves by clarifying the truth of their lives, seeking to unravel the mysteries and the confusion and set themselves straight, calmly, peacefully. Allow yourself to flow beneath the ocean and see yourself as a baby in the womb. Only this is an ocean womb, surrounded by dolphins who will nurture you and protect you and radiate their songs of joy and harmony and help you feel protected and peaceful as you make your inner discovery. Allow them to show you the truths of the universe. Feel the light radiating towards you from the galaxies, where all souls flow in the pattern of reincarnation, seeking to be reunited with the source of light we call God. Help them show you the meaning of your life, and remember these lessons of truth. Feel yourself transforming in light, using all the tools that are available on this planet, working with other souls, other people, other creatures, other forms of life, so that you may complete your mission here on the planet. Be grateful at this opportunity to transform. Feel yourself being transported on the back of the phoenix, rising into the heavens, radiating truth and light. Focused, calm, peaceful, purposeful in your life. Resolve to overcome all fears and to keep yourself on the path of light and truth and purpose, filling yourself with integrity, removing obstacles to your growth and harmony, feeling the dignity of being a spark of God, feeling that love radiating out throughout the universe. Within the universe. Angels of all denominations surrounding the planet. Love, harmony, peace radiating. God's love beaming everywhere throughout the galaxies. For we are one with God. For we are one with the universe. Do you have questions about your personal life? What about your relationships? Where's your life going? How about a career? Do you need to go back to school? What about those spiritual questions you always had in your back of your mind, but you just didn't know to ask about them? Or how about finding out why you're here on the planet to begin with? Call me at 736-4567 and we'll arrange an appointment. Now, if you have a product or a service you'd like to advertise with us, call 736-4567 today. And for those of you who want to learn how to relax and meditate at home, or perhaps just rid yourself of all the disappointments in life and things you've experienced in the past or even that morning, and bring a new joy and peace, or perhaps tap into your own true potential, pick up my 2-cassette kit called Inner Journey Volume 1. Remember, the guys, these are not subliminals. They are not hypnotic. It's you being in control of your life. And so much of the frustration today on the planet is because we feel out of control. But one thing you can do for yourself is get in touch with your own mind, your own conscious, your own subconscious, and your own soul, and you are in charge of that. So pick up my tapes at selected bookstores, my office, or Chundo Taekwondo. Call our first name and comment or question. You can call with personal questions, and you can continue the topic tonight about what is happening on the planet, New World Order, patriot groups, etc. Caller. Go ahead, caller.
Is that me?
Yes, it is.
Hi, my name's Patty.
Okay.
I have a problem when an 18-year-old is shot or murdered on the Memorial Causeway, which happened Friday, because someone didn't like the way he was driving.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, he was on the Memorial Causeway, and someone in a Cadillac just shot him. He died Friday at Morton Plant. Anyway, my problem is when the press writes the story in the paper, I think they're irresponsible when they don't mention that it could have been prevented if there was gun control. Also, there was a 17-year-old that was shot at Church's Chicken.
Oh, yes, I heard about that, right.
And they don't address gun control.
Well, the problem is it's not, the gun control is for, the gun control laws will take effect for people who have guns legitimately. Gun control will have absolutely no effect on the people like this because they're not the ones who register their guns. So until you remove all of the illegal guns and until you keep crooks and the bad guys in jail, since they're what I think the latest figures are 80% recidivism. So that means 8 out of 10 people who go to jail once go to jail twice. 8 out of 10 people who commit a violent crime once commit it twice, and they're career criminals. And the problem is we keep letting these monsters out on the street. So if you remove these people from society, we won't have these kinds of problems. The problem is not with you or with me having a gun, because I've never shot anyone. The problem is with the bad guys having guns. And that is the issue. We don't need to remove guns from people who like target control, target shooting. We need to remove guns from people who are violent, who are drunk, who are stoned, who are bad. And gun control doesn't address that.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't address it.
Because I was thinking, because it was at 10:30 at night, and this person, you know, if he wouldn't have had the loaded gun in his car, he wouldn't have been able to shot that person.
First of all, he was probably drinking.
Yeah.
And second of all, he wouldn't be registering his gun.
Well, then he needs to be off the street.
No kidding. Right.
But they don't even mention that.
Of course not. But their news report. Okay, if they're reporting something, they're not doing an essay on the topic. They're simply reporting the event. Okay, but no one wants to talk about keeping career criminals in jail.
No, they don't.
Because they want to spend money on building sports domes, but they don't want to spend money on education. They don't want to spend money on drug prevention. They don't want to spend money on birth control, and they don't want to spend money on keeping these bums in prisons.
Well, when they talk about what happened in Oklahoma City and people are shocked it's America, I mean, it happens every single day in everybody's city.
That's right.
In your backyard, and
That's
nothing
right.
shocking about murder.
That's right. It also happens in countries where people feel totally alienated and there is a suppression, whether it's a totalitarian religion, totalitarian regime of politics. Okay, quickly, caller, first name and comment or question. We're almost out of time. Caller.
Hi, my name is Nicole.
Okay, Nicole.
First, I'd like to tell you that we really enjoy your program. We just kind of channel surfed and just found it. But I wanted you to elaborate a little bit about your comments in regards to the not need for a black college. How do you feel?
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Farrakhan. Okay, now Howard University started because black kids couldn't get into college.
Exactly.
I'm talking about Louis Farrakhan and other black supremacists who only educate their black kids in the black concept of politically correct, which is wrong. We're out of time. I gotta go. We're going to cover this next week. Remember, if you just open up your hearts and minds to God's universal truths, you're going to know that God and the angels are always with you. Stay with us.